And we're back, Michelle.
Back again.
Halfway through
I know.
season 2. How does it feel?
And almost at the end of January. Yay!
Almost at the end of January.
I know. It's
How
been
was
good.
your week? What have you been up to?
My week has been good. I've been finished off. I was doing an accountant's office. So I've been doing a full bespoke reception desk and storage and signage and all this kind of stuff in Accountants Plus. So it's been really good. So whole different beast
You've been
doing
wearing
commercial.
your corporate jacket this week,
Yes. So that's been good. Yeah.
You've said before you actually like the mix of residential and the commercial side.
I do.
Because it kind of spices it up and
it does.
keeps it interesting.
And I think the thing is, you go to an accountant's and you think it's going to be all bland and boring, and actually their corporate colours are orange and blue. So I have really went for it. So it's bright and bold and beautiful and not what you would expect when you walk in.
Even some of the plants I've seen that you got in for pops of colour.
Pops of colour. All matching. So the biophilic design is really good. On point.
Exciting.
So exciting.
I've had a nice wee weekend. I've just been getting myself packed. I'm off to Toronto this week. So
hope you've packed many thermals.
Many thermals. The long johns are in the case, well and truly.
They need to be.
So an exciting week this week.
Yes.
Really, really looking forward to this week's guest.
Buzzing.
I know. We dropped some clues on Instagram, didn't we?
Did everybody guess? Did people guess?
I think the pair of Crocs gave it away. So guys, thank you for tuning in today. Today we are joined by Danny Campbell, architect, business owner, and one of the familiar faces judging Scotland's Home of the Year on BBC Scotland. As both a judge on the show and the founder of architectural studio HOKO Design, Danny sees homes from every angle, how they look, how they function, and how they actually feel to live in. In this episode, we're getting into what really makes a great home, what viewers don't see behind the scenes of Home of the Year, and how his architect's eye shapes both the homes he designs and the ones he judges on screen. Welcome, Danny.
Great, thanks for having me. Thanks for the intro. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about. Imposter syndrome through the roof now.
Yeah, everybody's intro is always amazing. They're always like, oh, that sounds really good. So
We chat GPT number anyway. So I thank you for coming on. So let's just strip it right back. Who's Danny Campbell? How did HOKO begin? Fill us in.
Yeah, I think I reflect on this quite a lot, actually. I was a really chaotic middle child. I think it was always written in the stars for me that I was going to have some sort of business. But then combine that with a professional father, and my dad was a surgeon. And university and getting some qualifications seemed kind of the thing that was expected. So I went down that route, and architecture was the one that really appealed to me. And then when I kind of finished that really long, drawn-out training process, I decided to set up my own thing, which is not what you do, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't qualify as an architect. You don't even. I wasn't even an architect when I set it up, actually. When I set HOKO up, I was what they call a part 2. Really glamorous title when you've been at uni for like 6 years already. And I just found a little niche, and I was like, this is the thing I really like to do.
Yep.
Amazing. And so you've never worked for another architecture practice?
No,
You've just
I've
gone
never.
straight in?
Yeah, never worked for another
That
practice
is
before,
unusual,
which I remember when I did my interview exam to actually qualify as an architect, they couldn't really understand how I'd managed to get that far. There's like a bit of a loophole because you need an architect to sign off your logbooks and stuff.
Yeah.
But I employed an architect, so that's kind of how I went around it.
Amazing.
So quite a dysfunctional kind of route to get to kind of having your own kind of architecture firm. But I think that's been our superpower a little bit.
Yeah.
And was that always an interest of the career that you wanted to fulfill? Was that, were you always thinking down that route?
Being an architect? No, I don't. A lot of the time I don't really feel like an architect either, to be honest with you, which is probably not a good thing all the time. I think the thing I am obsessed with home.
Yeah.
I think home is like a concept. It just blows my mind. Do you know when you really think about the meaning of certain things in your life, like the meaning of children, the meaning of parents, the meaning of like food or water? It's until you go without these things that you kind of realize how significant it is.
Yep.
So I think that's something that I'm really glad there's such a strong emotional link to, how I feel about it personally to what the company actually does.
Yeah.
I think that really helps the whole team and all the suppliers we work with align around this kind of core goal of there's people in the middle of this, in the middle of this project.
Yeah. It's always, you always bring yourself back to that, even from a design point of view. It's like, it has to be about the people who are living there and how they live and how they use their home for their life. And
functionality,
because we see so often like show homes and stuff, and you go into the show homes and you think, well, this is beautiful, and you're absolutely taken away by the beauty of this show home. But in reality, that's not what it's like when you've got 3 kids coming in from school or nursery or whatever, and bags are getting dumped and stuff. It's like, how do we design round about that as well? But
I think you get disenchanted when you've been to so many homes as well. The kind of the flashy, the glitzy expectation of what people think they want. You get so disenchanted by it. And I think the thing that I crave, not just in my profession, but in all aspects of my life, is something real.
Yeah.
Like the actual real thing. Like Banjo style on the show. He's so good at finding things that are so real. It's like he can absolutely tap into the beauty of objects and things that, have lived a life and then repurpose them. And I think that is why his style is so incredibly rich.
Yeah.
And it's, if you look at the nuance of each person, how they live, their psychology, the moment they're at in their life, it becomes, really interesting.
Yeah.
It's stuff like grubby kids' fingerprints on walls.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. See, if you really think about it, it's beautiful. We should start doing that for people's homes that don't have kids.
Yeah. Just give them fingerprints.
As an aesthetic. There's a wallpaper
funny,
product in there somewhere.
I was talking to my neighbour, and she was in mine around the festive period there. She's like, oh, I would just love to have glass doors. She's like, but I'm absolutely not doing it, purely for the grubby fingerprints.
I know. And so how long have you been in your practice then? How long have you had your business?
So I set up, the company was registered in 2016, and I did a whole mix of stuff for the first couple of years, trying to find my feet as like a freelancer. And then in 2019, Simon Martin joined. And that was when it all kicked off. That's when we kind of like doubled down on our niche and how we were going to operate.
Yeah.
And it was so rough and ready to begin with. But the core of it was that I would go out and make the sales and do the design and keep the clients happy.
Yeah.
And he would actually do the architecture and the really clever bit. We were basically 2 sides of one coin, and we just worked really well together. So 2019, so what's that's coming up to like 7 years?
7 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then how did COVID affect you when you were, obviously like 2020, we had COVID, and you just sort of got to the point where into 2019 you were like found your niche. How did COVID affect?
Yeah, so we were about to close an investment round just before COVID hit, and then it hit, so that was all put on ice, and it was all looking like it was going to go ahead. So we had to be really resourceful about how we managed ourselves, because you couldn't go to clients' homes anymore.
Yeah,
it's like the fundamental thing that we need to go to. So we had quite a few projects that we still had to get through. So we kind of thought, well, rather than taking a year for these, let's just battle through all these drawings like at turbo speed. And then there was little gaps when you could kind of go and like look over a hedge at someone's house and have a consultation through a letterbox. So that kind of worked really well. The truth is that after COVID restrictions released, it was an absolute gold time for us, because everyone was sick of their homes. Everybody was craving big dining tables. They all wanted to banquet again and have people around. And there was mortgage holidays. People had been on furlough and probably doing side hustles. And it was a really, really good time for us. We went through this like rapid expansion at that point.
We've talked about that a few times on the podcast, haven't we? That like so many people started businesses during COVID, and like then after it, the same. Like people have been like, oh my God, I need a proper home office. I need like flexible spaces. And their houses just weren't equipped to deal with it during COVID. And then after it, they were like, right, because so many people now still work from home. Even, furlough helped with that for people. And also businesses also seeing that people could be productive at their home and save costs. And like,
it did really give a lot of people the time to reflect and think what actually is important, and do I want to realign and change going forward how I want to live my life.
It's a hard one to kind of like take stock of sometimes when you're in it. In 2019, I remember I was joking to my brother and saying, I wish that people could just be locked in their homes for a year and like have to realise how bad they are, so that they can know how much a renovation could change their life. So I basically manifested COVID. We should do another one. We should do another one.
Yeah, I think
lockdown.
I've got another lockdown in me, absolutely. I had the best time ever.
I don't think people would do it now, though. I don't people think people would do as they're told. Remember, we only could go out for like one walk in a day and stuff like that.
But it's even funny now, like we're obviously almost 6 years down the line, and watching like obviously repeats of programmes are coming on. Like even I was watching A Place in the Sun the other day. And I was like, why are they standing so far apart from each other? Like, they're all like spaced out across this screen. I was like, oh, of course. So it's obviously the COVID period of time that they must have been filming it. And it's like, so what do you think of this house? And the camera pans round to the couple because it's so funny. But it's just
defined now by pre and post COVID. Even the kids that were off school and stuff, it's like pre-COVID, post-COVID, and how they behave differently, which is insane.
Yep.
But yeah, well, that's good that you've made it successful.
Your business is HOKO Design. Where did that name come from?
Yeah, so it's so hard to pick a name for a business, and I was determined not to call it Danny Campbell Architects, partly because I wasn't an architect when I set it up.
Yeah.
But I just come back from Canada, and while I was there, I lived with this great big Maori bloke called Jeremiah Shields, and I really loved his accent. I loved hearing about the Maori culture and stuff. And HOKO is basically a Maori word that means like business.
Yeah.
I kind of took it to mean no bad debts. I imagine like Maori people are pretty harsh with business, getting paid on time and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of like the link to it. But I thought HOKO, it's 4 letters. It kind of looks like it could be something to do with home. But yeah, it's just a homage to my rugby pal.
But it's funny because it's sort of consumed a bit of your personality because everybody's like, Danny HOKO.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's my
Or
surname.
the other way, HOKO Danny.
HOKO Danny. And it's like, no, that's absolutely not my name. But it's funny that that's it. It's such a great story off the back of it. Because, however, it does give a bit of like, as a somebody who didn't know the meaning behind it, it is a bit like Scandinavian, like furniture store names, isn't it? It's like a bit like that. It's given IKEA, really, yeah.
There was some weird like Japanese, like something to do with dolls.
I would have thought Japanese HOKO.
No, but
more.
like it was getting blocked for like pornographic buzzwords, because there's some weird like link to it.
Oh God.
You're immediately going to Google this after
going
this
to
show.
Google it,
But yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't Google it beforehand.
getting us blocks, yeah.
And is that where your love for rugby came when you were there?
No, so rugby's been
It's
something
always been
I've done since I was like 5 years old. I've been playing rugby for like 30 years, still playing actually. And yeah, I love it. There's nothing more humbling than just getting absolutely crunched by some big like mutant from the borders on a Saturday afternoon. But yeah, no, I've always done it like 3 times a week through the summer,
Amazing.
through the winter. And yeah, I went over to Canada very spontaneously, and it was the best thing in the world. 'Cause I just Googled, best rugby team in Vancouver and got in touch, and they gave me a place to stay and helped me find work. And you meet amazing people through the sport.
Yeah. I always say that. Like, I've been to a couple of the Six Nations games, and I like the Six Nations. Probably the only one I watch, but I love the Six Nations and I love going to Murrayfield. And I think the thing you love about it is it's the more aggressive game, but everybody's so polite and manners. And when the referee says, and you can't do this, they like apologise, sorry, and all this kind of stuff. And the fans all sit together and whatever. And I think that part of it is just like, it's like gentleman's sport, but it's rough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My one
I like
experience
it.
with rugby is I won, when I worked at BMW, I won tickets to the Scotland and France game at Murrayfield, hospitality.
Amazing.
And it was all meeting in Edinburgh beforehand. You can imagine champagne, wine flowing before 11 o'clock. I can remember the national anthem.
That's it.
And that's it.
And the piper on the roof, which is always my favourite.
That was it. And I was like, what was the score?
Yeah.
And then
I had a great time.
my friends will say to me, but how you don't know the rules? And I was like, well, I know some of the rules,
Aye,
but like I can see what's happening now.
Yeah.
I know who's won.
Yeah,
When you hear the crunching of people crashing into each other, rules are kind of irrelevant at that point. Anyway.
Amazing.
So, right, let's get down to the elephant in the room. Tell us about Scotland's Home of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, that's like absolute dream
How
job,
did
to be
that
honest.
happen?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird bit of good luck. There's a good lesson in not burning bridges with people, and I think taking an opportunity when it's there. So I'm employed an architect, and she was with us for a couple of months. She said, look, I just don't want to be an architect anymore.
Yeah.
And she ended up joining the production company. I think she heard them looking for an architect, and she put my name forward. And then the producer got in touch with me and invited me to like a secret project. I was like, I have no idea what this is going to be, but I'm definitely going to a secret project.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a spy or something.
Aye.
And then yes, I went down to this casting day, went down on my motorbike, and then like rocked up and just tried my best and got along really well with the judges and stuff. And they just gave me a chance. It's quite funny. Anna was reflecting on this the other day, and at the time I had this like ironic like picture on my Instagram where I was like doing this entrepreneur steepling stance, and she said that she looked at it and before I turned up and she was like, oh my God, this guy is going to be unbearable. She was like, look at that, this guy, look what he thinks he's so cool. Absolutely awful. But yeah, managed
Danny's
to...
the quote Danny HOKO getting off the
Yeah,
thing.
oh man, awful. Who the hell do I think I am? It's ridiculous.
I love it. I'm obsessed.
So did the Crocs come before this or after this?
Yeah, no, the Crocs was a totally separate mental breakdown that I had like a couple of years prior. Yeah, I went through this process where I just decided to get rid of all my stuff. It was quite a kind of a full and final decision so I had a nice big like black Jaguar F-Pace and stuff, and the business was starting to do well, and I realized I was kind of falling down this route of, feeling like people were looking at me to see how many staff have you got, it's a nice new car, and I was like, oh, actually, this is not conducive to fulfilling a purpose and finding my destiny and what I want to do. So I was like, I just don't want any of that. I want to kind of completely turn my back on all of it. So I got rid of it all. I got a smart car. I got rid of all my clothes, even all the sentimental rugby kits and stuff I had from, 30 years of playing rugby.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah, all of it. And then
Extreme.
it was really extreme. And then I just had black trousers, black t-shirts that usually said HOKO on them, and that was it. That was literally it. And I got rid of like trainers and brogues and all the kind of different shoes I was wearing all the time. And then I had to pick something to wear. So I was like, well, double down. Pick the worst, most ridiculous shoes. And that is kind of like proof that like I'm sticking true to like a purpose I'm on.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. And I think there's evidence in, you can turn up somewhere. It doesn't matter if it's an investment meeting, a client meeting. It doesn't matter really what you're wearing. It's
Absolutely.
kind of what's on the inside.
I love that. I love that because, as you say, like a lot of people look at, let's see how successful you are. I want to see what car you're driving. And I want to see what kind of shoes have you got on and what brand are you wearing and all that kind of stuff. And often, if that's not important to you, then it's not a measure of success at all.
Exactly, yeah. And I think you can... I know I started off doing it ironically and just as a bit of a joke. And then because of that same point, every day I put my Crocs on, I was thinking what I was doing that day. I'm like, oh, God, they're going to be looking and thinking, what the hell? He's obviously had some accident in the bathroom with his shoes and he's had to get a pair of Crocs last minute. But no, it's like they see me every time and then people just kind of got used to it.
Yeah.
But yes, I had them for years before. But obviously for the casting day, I didn't wear them because I was on my motorbike because I didn't even think about it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember the first day of filming, obviously turned up in my Crocs. And then they were looking at me like, wait, hold on. And then Banjo was like, are you going to wear them on camera? And I was like, well, yeah, I just wear these all the time. He was like, oh, that's iconic. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a good personal branding exercise.
Oh, that is iconic. His accent. It's just hilarious. Love that.
That really kind of, I think you really picked me up on the first day with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go. Something so simple has became such a statement for your own brand, because it's like, oh my God, Danny's not got Crocs on. Like, it's just even something as simple as that.
But you know what?
So
it's not a
impactful.
clever personal branding exercise. Yeah. Although they need to give me a brand deal.
Absolutely.
I reckon I've got so many people, maybe at least 3 people, to start wearing Crocs out and about.
Yeah.
I said that this morning. Declan, I said, I don't have Crocs, but my daughter wears Crocs. And she's like, Mum, you should still get a pair of Crocs. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Can you imagine me in Crocs?
I did get a few messages on Instagram saying we should have Crocs on for Danny.
We should have worn Crocs this morning.
Let me show you this. This is actually, I can't believe I'm going to show you this, but this is absolutely so tragic and embarrassing.
Tragic and embarrassing.
Yeah. This is so the amount of times that I've slid into Crocs DMs, like honestly, it's literally like relentless. Seeing it, never get a reply. One of them even says, what does it say? Come on, Crocs, notice me.
Not even a thank you for your message.
Seen. It's like
an automatic bounce back.
Anybody at Crocs, can we just like clip this and try and get me a brand deal? Because I'm getting sick of it.
Let's just get Danny that brand deal.
All the abuse online, all the pain, no gain. Come on, Crocs, do you a solid, man. I want a free 20 pair of Crocs, £20 pair of Crocs.
And how many pair have you got?
Oh, I've only got one pair. I only have one pair at a time.
Oh,
yeah,
one pair at a time. I like that.
Like that too.
This is like I maybe go through a pair every like year and a half.
And they're not hyped up. They've got no wee things on the front of them.
No, well, that was the whole point of being Minimalist, I suppose.
And also because nobody's gave him a pair that are hyped up yet.
No. So, guys, just a wee quick interruption to today's episode. We're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tyrrell's Home Furnishings. Tyrrell's has a wealth of experience, over 90 years within the industry. So a huge thank you to Tyrrell's Home Furnishings for supporting the podcast, bringing style, comfort and inspiration to homes across Scotland. So we actually had Gillian and Angela on from the Christmas 24.
Christmas specials. Scotland Home
Yeah,
Day.
but you were on it, which was an interesting couple of hours with they two. They were just a laugh and a half. So they had a great experience. And actually we were a bit shocked that unless you obviously win the show, you don't actually get to meet any of the judges, which... couldn't believe.
Yeah, no, we don't get to know anything about them, you know. And it's one of the weirdest things as an architect, I think, especially, is because you go through this journey with somebody, you see their home before, you get to know them, you psychoanalyze them, you help them kind of create something that's really special, and then you see the end result and you see them enjoying it. But this is like you just go into a finished home and you're trying to like unpick what they've done, what they've changed, and who they are. And I think that's kind of a good way to like judge a good home, is if it gives you that feeling. But yeah, we don't get to meet them. It's such a shame, but
also interesting when there's 3 different perspectives, which obviously that's the purpose of the show, and these can judge and give your scores and secret and stuff. But I like it when it comes to the end, when these are deciding, like, you know, if there's 2 that's the same, and then you chat through who's going to win that. But I feel that Anna's the boss.
yeah, no, she is. She's definitely the boss.
She's always the one with the marker, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's like, don't disagree with me. This is the one that should win. And you're like,
it's funny,
okay,
we're like looking over her shoulder with the camera and stuff there, and she's getting ready to write it. I mean, that's serious pressure.
Yeah.
She's doing it, and I'm like, oh, Anna, that's a lovely 3.
Yeah.
That's a great 3.
And obviously, how many seasons have you done now? Is that?
I think I've done, I think 3 Christmas ones have been on, and 2 of the main show have been on. And then we filmed the one that's coming out this spring last year.
So that's been done.
Yeah.
In the bag.
And there's some, not that I'm like dropping a big teaser or anything, but it was the best one, I think.
Oh my God.
Some really cool stuff.
But how do you feel about the Christmas ones when there's like 6 trees in a house? Like, I don't know. We've talked about this before, and we've had feedback through people saying absolutely ridiculous. You should have 1 tree and that's it and whatever. And it's like interesting when you see that people have got like a tree in every room, and I'm like, my God, where do they get the time?
Yeah, I know.
Consumerism at its finest.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that, but people make so much stuff as well, which is really lovely. And I don't know, I think architects they can be quite stuck in this like professional mindset where you're super serious, there's so much liability, there's so much stress and conflict, and you've really got to know your stuff all the time. Yeah. That like to let yourself be really giddy and Christmassy, there's such a clash.
Yeah.
So I think you do need to just like throw yourself into the spirit of it all and realize that, these people love this time of year. And I think if you ever meet someone who's super enthusiastic, you just get swept up in it. Yeah. So it's really nice.
No, it's good. And so classic architect and designer relationships are not always the best. I've worked with a couple of architects, and like...
They hate to see you coming.
They're just like,
here she comes.
And the first one I worked with, he quite old school, and he referred to what I did all the time as the fluffy stuff, and it drove me insane. And I was like, that it was in a commercial project, and I was like, the fluffy stuff is the stuff that everybody's going to see and everybody's going to like and whatever. And you know, and eventually we managed to be able to work together, but it was quite difficult because his was all about the shape of the bar and the structure of the bar and how this bar was going to look, and you know, what distance we needed from the washing the glasses to the pulling the pints and all this, which was really interesting because I wasn't considering those things. So it was great that we both had that side. But yeah, he just kept saying to me, right, what's happening with the fluffy stuff today? And I'm like, But yeah, eventually it was like you learn how to work together. But it is interesting, like your point of view to my point of view.
Yeah, it is. I think with architects especially, there's quite a series of processes you need to go through. There's boxes you need to tick, and information needs to get drawn out. A lot of it is really technical. And then with interior design, it can be so tactile. It can also be incredibly tactile and detail heavy. But this is, I think, one of the fundamental problems with professionals in construction that work on homes is that they're so good at what they do in their lane. And, you know, you've got QSs, then you've got like the engineers, and you've got all these different specialties and suppliers and sub-suppliers and all the tradesmen and stuff, and everybody's got their own lane, but at the center of it is one person, and they just see their home.
Yeah.
That's all they see. So I think if everybody kind of buys into that, that's when, you know, you can actually have conversations about design or about the architecture or the technical stuff. But yeah, I think when people kind of belittle each other's profession, good thing it didn't get to you, but
no, we eventually we were able to work each other, and it was said in jest thereafter. But I learned so much, especially because it was a commercial project. So he was talking, you know, about Pythons and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, what's happening here? So I learned probably way more than I had to.
Yeah.
But I was dead interested in the process and like how this came about and what sizes were relevant to this and why we needed these pipes and all that kind of stuff. But which helps you then understand what you're doing in the building and how you want to make it look and feel thereafter. But and then opposed to that, like I've got another architect I work with, and he'll say like I am totally just doing the design, the shapes, the technical. I do not know, nor do I want to know about the flooring or the wallpaper or whatever you're doing. That's up to you. That's totally up to you, which is interesting. But
whereas on the other hand, you sometimes get the input that's in some ways maybe not required, but they want a level of involvement.
But
you talk about planners.
Yeah. So it's just but it's finding that balance and how the relationship works across the project.
But
it's about having a team, isn't it? It's a team and everybody shooting for the same goal. Yeah.
And we had Martin Daly on last week, who's MD Builders. So he started out, again, like lots of people we've had on the show, has not been like direct route that they've gone into something. They've kind of went round. And he started out doing kitchens and bathrooms, and now he's doing building houses and extensions and stuff. And he's like, we work so closely with the architect because you want us to be there at the same time. You want us both to come in at the same time. Whereas a lot of people are like, oh, I'll go and I'll get my architect plans first before I speak to a builder and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's just back to the whole relationship thing, isn't it? It's that we respect each other's jobs and that everybody gets involved as early as possible. Yeah,
and it's treating people fairly as well. You know, I think most people generally have good intentions, that they want to do a really good job. I think the architect-builder relationship is a really important one, where, you know, they can do so much that we just can't do, and they actually understand building in sometimes a much more practical way. And if you don't listen to that, that's just ignorance. I think that's where you can really you've got a problem. You know, you should absolutely include the builder and the tradesman and everybody else. It's like at the end of the day, we just need a solution. Nobody needs to. You don't win, you know, solving a problem. You just need to get to it. And I think that with HOKO, because we deal with such a high volume of as the construction industry would call them, small projects. For the contractors that like working on those types of projects and the quick turnaround, that we've got really good relationships where you end up working on. You know, like Newford, one of our contractors, I mean, they must be up to about maybe 60 or 70 projects for us in the last like 3 years. So we have such a good relationship with them. So then for a client, there's a huge benefit there, because when, you know, they're tendering for a project and we can say this how many projects they've done, if there's a problem, they're not going to burn a bridge. It's not just a one-off transactional relationship. So I think if more people can enrich their ecosystem with those networks, there's a huge benefit to customers.
It's good. It's team, and that's what we're talking about, Martin, as well. Like trades and getting a reliable team of trades that support you and absolutely represent you when you're in with, you know, a client. I can't be there all the time. You can't be there all the time. So you want then other people that are representing you and being able to say, right, if there is an issue, let's solve it. Let's not be saying to the client, geez, I don't know who, you know, you often get this, like, I don't know who did this, and it's that kind of stuff, and you're like, please don't, like, you're here, we're all here together as a team, let's see how we can work it out. But it's not as easy as getting to that point, but I think you eventually get the team and you.
And what kind of projects do you typically love the most? Are you residential or are you commercial? Like, what's your...
No, don't do any commercial stuff.
So no commercial, so mainly...
I know you do both, but I that blows my mind. I feel like they're totally different worlds.
Yeah.
I think even the regulatory process and all the stuff you need to go through, they're just totally different worlds. And I find that odd in terms of how architects are trained. It's kind of you're trained to do all of it. But I mean, the residential part of it, the bit that I really love is the social part. Like there's a lot of psychology involved in how a home can work, and then it's like, how do you maximize value out of someone's budget? Because I mean, it's their own hard-earned cash at the end of the day, so you want to kind of see them get a really good deal. So there's the whole like economic part of it I find really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
With the commercial stuff, I feel like I would probably be less emotionally connected to it. But yeah, so residential stuff is literally just for homeowners,
Yeah.
extensions and remodeling. We
Yeah.
don't even do new builds anymore.
Some of the designs that you've done are absolutely breathtaking, like really, really eye-catching and quirky, to say the least.
Yeah, well, they probably weren't my ones, but
Yeah.
the guys try really hard. They do a really, really good job. And yeah, I'm staggered by it. Like Cameron, our architectural director, trained at the art school. He's got such a good eye for detail. And he's so good at space planning. He talks so straight to clients as well. So he always gets some, great project for whatever their budget is.
Yeah.
But yeah, his designs are stunning. And then it's like when I'm then looking at my own little side projects, I speak to Simon, I speak to Cameron and Connor and Daniel, Mark in the office and stuff to get their input on things. And I think that's a really nice part about being around people who are in the same kind of journey, have the same interest, that you get different perspectives on it. And if you're open to changing your mind, that's when you end up with a design that's really good.
Love that.
And have you built your own house or
No, I haven't
extended
actually.
it?
I've got some, done some stuff to it, but I've looking at a plot of land at the moment in the East End, which I'm hoping to get and do something really weird with. The other thing I'm really, really obsessed with at the moment is getting a forest.
Oh.
So there's loads of like forest for sale. I'm obsessed with like.
I'm really obsessed with right now is getting a forest.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with getting a forest.
You know he's got to clip that. And that'll be one of your clips.
I know. Do you know what? It's like I would love to get an island. That'd be my preference because Banjo's got an island, Anna's also got an island, and they always take the piss at me for not having an island. So, but until I get an island, I think a forest will do. So then I've designed this. I've designed a micro home that could be like a standalone project, and I'm obsessed with like space efficiency and doing something that looks absolutely crazy but can integrate with the environment and stuff. So plan is to get a forest and drop these little follies in there and people can come and stay in them and stuff. That'd be really fun.
That sounds incredible.
That is good. I like that. Like, I love people that have got like ambition like that it's not just just a normal new build home. It's something absolutely extreme, which is great.
Talking about new build homes, you seem to have a wee busy weekend in and out of show homes, Michelle.
I know, and I've had a new build like throughout my life. I've had various new builds, and I've always said they're soulless and whatever. And like I want a Victorian property that I can do up. But then also I've been on the other side of that, helping other people do up Victorian properties, and I see how difficult it is and how like everything you touch is actually so much more money than you think it's going to be and so much more hassle. But I thought on the weekend I took my hubby to see just what was on offer like here just now. And we both came away thinking we'd still rather either build or do up. Like
that's the thing. Typically, like the show homes that I've been in the past, like they're designed in a way that's much smaller beds, much smaller like artificial television and whatnot, just to, or sometimes these don't even have a lot of television as such. Just it's creating spaces that naturally that.
Oh, it's the dream. It's people go in and go, I'd love to live here because it looks. But what people don't realise, and this is where I get quite a lot of clients, they buy a new build and they expect it to look like the show home. Yeah. And then they get the keys and they open the door and they're thinking, Jesus, like I've got no floors, I've got nothing, and it's just a box. And they often come to me and say, I don't know how to make it feel like a home. And it is like people are terrified to wallpaper in the first year and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, actually just do it. It's just for the sake of nails popping, it's fine. But they do struggle with trying to put their own stamp on it, unless they're creative, like some of the ones we've seen on Scotland's Home of the Year. Yep. Like other people, and also busy people, they don't have the time to be able to go and shop for everything that they need and trying to make their stuff fit in to their new space. But yeah.
Or it ends up getting to the point where it never ever gets done because they've just don't have the time, like you say.
Yeah. They're amazing to modify as well. They're all like timber kits and stuff, so they're really easy to add to. The other thing with like Victorian and period properties is you don't know what's under the ground outside. Yep. We had a project where we dug down the first day and there was like a Victorian field drain. It's like a terracotta thing that's letting water run through all the time. The whole thing's filling with water all the time. So the new builds are great because you know what's under the ground. Yeah. Which means you can probably be more ambitious with what you're actually building there.
Yeah. But I would like to build my own, I think. I think that would be my dream.
We've pondered this before, but there's a lot more people, and you're seeing a lot more reels and TikTok appear about this whole open plan living life. Like, are you all about open plan living, or do you think
Yeah, so
stick to what we're used to in a conventional situation?
what you're saying, that you want my actual
Aye,
genuine personal
yeah,
opinion? I
yeah.
think it kind of depends on the circumstance. I think for the space that I'm looking at in the East End, what my vision for it is that it would be open plan.
Yeah.
Not just kitchen, living, dining, but like bedroom, like the whole thing open plan.
Yeah.
Like just one big open
Mhm.
space, but with like movable partitions and stuff.
Yeah.
There's broken plan as well, which when you've got like walls and partitions
Yeah.
and things that you can like push stuff against, placing furniture in open plan
Yeah.
is sometimes really challenging. There's also a lot of kind of noise and upkeep and stuff. But I think if you're trying to create a hierarchy within a space, a large social space does so much of the legwork. If that's connected to your garden space, you've kind of doubled up
Yeah.
on the impact of it. So I think open plan's great. I think it depends on your circumstances in life. I think for a family, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing so many reels pop up, and it's all about open plan living. And like, I get apartment situations are fine, but actually the way that people are redesigning their lives completely for like self build, especially, like the way that
I've lived in open plan for I've moved about 14 times. So
Yeah.
like I've lived in open plan.
15 this year, Michelle, apparently.
So for a long time, and our kids are grown up, so it's now just like me and Hugh, and it works great for us. But I did notice, and it was great, like Christmas when we had all the family and everybody you could see every day in the one space. But there are times where I think, oh, I'd quite like a wee cosy snug just to go and have like a wee movie or something. But that's nice. But I live in a converted church. So the developer that did the church was like a beautiful big church, and he's made it into 4 apartments. In ours apartments, it's at the very top of the church. We have our own access, and we've got our own elevator and stuff that goes up to the top of the church. But I don't know how I'm ever going to leave there and
Readjust.
have the same space, because the ceiling heights and the windows and everything. So going into a new building Saturday was kind of like, oh, I don't know that I can actually do this. I think I would need to have something quirky, like that's got something to it.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to do a barn conversion. That was always my thing.
Yeah.
I've not managed yet. So
Yeah,
if I
barn
get one,
conversion would be cool.
you can help me.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But the space you're in is incredible, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how and again, from an architectural point of view, that blows my mind how somebody was able to look at this building and go, right, we can do this and we can do this and we can have these 4 spaces and we'll incorporate these windows, and they've got 3 mezzanines which are accessed via like witches' staircases and stuff, and it's just like...
Yeah,
I
it's
just
incredible
think
how you actually make a
yeah.
building like that perform properly
Yeah.
for a home.
Yeah.
It's obviously not designed to do that.
If you've seen
Yeah.
these witches' staircases, like, what was I like the first time I seen it? I was like,
Yeah.
what is you meant to do with that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like because it's like that.
yeah, the step, yeah.
And
That's space saver.
it's like that. But I put it on one day on Instagram, and it was quite funny. And this person was like, those stairs obviously did not meet big building regulations. And I'm like, I think you'll find that that's what they're used for, because they're not.
That must be the same person commenting on all my videos. Also.
I'm like, okay, settle down.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of trolling online?
Oh, so, yes. I've just started a TikTok as well.
Right.
This year I'm taking over TikTok. Guys,
Yeah,
it's going
that's it.
so well. I think I'm like, must be at like maybe 250, 260 followers now. It's big numbers.
Amazing.
Big numbers. But
Making waves.
even in that small group, there's some people putting some stuff in. One person just commented, you look like you're just taking a hat off.
Thanks.
I was like, fair play, that's actually quite a good little roast.
I quite
so,
like that one.
so subtle. And I looked at it, I was like, do you know what? I had actually just taken a hat off. I was like mortified.
People just, I think in the online space of trolls, they feel so entitled
I
to
know. Another one that
opinions
happened this week was Andrew Dobby's trying to save the People Make Glasgow building. You've probably seen that
yeah.
with his petition and stuff. And I did a little video with him, and he just posted it like 2 days ago. And somebody just wrote like that tash is a war crime. All right.
Can you imagine walking in here today and I'm like, oh my god, you look, you've just took your hat off. What's going on with that tash? just folks. Imagine folk come up in real life to you and like just shouting abuse at you, and you're just like, okay.
I'd probably rather that, to be honest. But yeah, most people are really lovely.
Yeah, it's just become so easy though. Especially we had Vicky on, who's an estate agent, and she does a lot of these, the walking videos about this is your new home and do you fancy it, whatever. But she wears notoriously she wears a dress and high heels, so she's got tights on, and the comments about her tights is off the scale.
What could you possibly comment about tights?
Oh, like, can she send her their tights? Can they pay for her tights?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Like ladders in their tights, and the comments about the ladders in the tights. Oh my God. And it's just like, I don't believe this, but she gets thousands of views on TikTok, doesn't she? 10,000 views, I think one of them had.
Does that ladder come with a home and all that? You're like, shut up. Get a grip. And it's like grown males, do you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah,
you're a
it's-
45-year-old male with no profile picture.
I know, it's always them, isn't it? It's always
But
them.
yeah, but so the wonderful world of TikTok.
Yeah.
So do you do much like speaking into the camera as you're going to do about your business? Because that seems to be the thing. Declan's always saying to me, you need to do more on TikTok. And I'm like,
Yeah, I do sometimes get sick of myself, so I feel
Yeah.
really sorry for my colleagues actually. But yeah, try and get as much kind of relevant content as possible. The thing about the TikTok one, which I'm really enjoying, was I've built a whole load of topics I genuinely want to learn about. So I'm learning about them, but everything I learn about, I'll then do a little 60-second video about it. So it's really forcing me to like condense my knowledge into like a little script that then I can say in one go, and then have some cutaways. And yeah, hopefully if people are interested in stuff to do with homes, so like one will be about Gothic revival architecture, like why that happened. Another one I did last night was about bad gears in the Middle East that basically 2,500 years ago they created like a air conditioning system using physics and stuff, and like all these different bits, they all kind of like niche together to generate knowledge. And I think that is I'm really enjoying that. I wish I felt like this when I was at uni. Probably would have got better grades, but
you need to do more with your Crocs on the TikTok, because that'll
TikTok.
get
TikTok, yeah.
that'll get many more followers.
Yeah, it's kind of quality over quantity I'm going at this point, not the feet fetishist, but maybe there's something in that. I could probably monetize that one better.
There was something I was going to ask you about. So Scotland's Home of the Year. Do you enjoy presenting then? Is that something that you like doing?
Yeah, it's really intense. It's quite it's quite a draining process, but yeah, I do enjoy it. We have such a laugh on the show. Anna and Banjo and the whole crew and stuff are absolutely amazing to work with.
Yeah.
So, and there's so much like jeopardy. You rock up at some home, you know nothing about it. There's going to be a camera in your face, and you got to have to. Well, for me, I usually have to try and say something that's like technical or like relevant to architecture and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's that whole risk of saying the wrong thing, and yeah, I like the thrill of that.
Yeah.
But I do.
And how
I do
long does
enjoy
a
it.
typical series take to film? Because obviously you split it by regions and such.
Yeah, it's about 6 weeks.
Really,
6
yeah.
weeks, kind of on the road,
Wow.
5 to 6 weeks. So, yeah, it's quite. It's a funny process because you're getting driven around in a car all the time,
Yeah.
getting treated like a baby. We have like a full-time babysitter. Whenever we kind of end up on our own, I think people start to panic. Like, oh my god, what are we up to?
What were they doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
If
They're
we ever
waiting at the
get, if we ever get a moment where we're like not being watched, we'll sneak into a pub and like, have a pint or something, which is really good.
And you've said for us to watch out for this season because it's going to be one of the best that you've said.
Yeah,
But
I think the quality of the homes is.
is there a
really what makes it.
standout home that you've like you've seen in the past and went, yeah, that was a bit of me?
Yeah, so I think from that series there was probably about 5 or 6 I think could win it.
Wow.
Yeah, there was some real crackers. It was a bit of a head scratcher trying to pick a winner.
Wow.
It's really great though, because I love seeing like a homeowner's passion and how they've really put everything. That's what you go back to talk about, like about the home and what it means for it to be in their home, and I love that because so many people just don't have.
And getting into the nitty gritty of it as well is it as we see, like, do these people other than the winners know that they've won? Do they know within the series that they've won?
Yeah, so
Or they don't wait till it has to go live?
no, so the winners know they've won,
Yeah.
and the people in the final know they've won. So it's like a
Right.
huge secret.
Right.
The other people who are they don't know
The
any
other
of the content
contestants
or any of
don't.
the footage, nothing. They don't know what we said, what their scores were, nothing.
Wow.
So yeah, must be super stressful for them to watch it back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when they're not meeting you guys or that as part of it. Do you know what I mean? They're like
Yeah.
literally, I take it they've given a window where they leave and whatnot, and then you just bang and
Yeah,
roll
we're
up.
in. Sometimes we're like driving past in the car and they're looking in and stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
It was actually
The
Gillian
one
that
question
said,
I need to ask is, are you told to take your shoes off in certain houses?
Yeah, there's some shoes there's some homes are shoes off homes, some are shoes on homes, which I
Because I
think
keep thinking, It's the middle of winter. It's the at the Christmas ones. And I'm thinking they've got their shoes on.
Yeah. There was a home. In fact, it was the one that won last year, and it was a shoes off home. But it was it was a really warm day, and I went Crocs, no socks, which let's be honest, it's not really appropriate in any circumstance. But I just thought, I'm just gonna do it, just wind the haters up, and rocked up, and they were like, "Yeah, this is a shoes off home." I was like, "Whoa." I'm not walking around barefoot before on the BBC. That's really weird. I think they actually, I was like cracked on with it, and they did the opening sequence, and then they got a call from the head office, and were like, "Get some socks on that guy, like rapid." This goes out before the watershed. They can't be doing that. So I had to put socks on.
Whose socks did you put on?
I actually had my bag in the van. Yeah, I had Anna's little fluffy pink socks. So that was perfect.
Brilliant. And have you been to Banjo's Island?
No, I've not been, but I do really want to go. It's funny, he's incredible. He gets through so much work in what appears to be a really chaotic way, but he must be secretly quite organised. But his show was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But hearing him doing it, from behind the scenes, sounded super stressful. They were really living it. It's such like a privilege for anybody to watch that show, to get an eye into his world. I'm not sure he wants anyone to stay there.
No,
I think
I don't know that he does either.
He just wants a hotel for him and Ro and the animals. I think we should all just collectively just
embrace that.
Leave him to it. We'll put up like a GoFundMe page where people can pay for a night but not go.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really nice, just because it's so cool.
But he does. He is like puts his heart and soul into things, especially when he was doing the other one, when he was doing all of the wee shops and stuff. And he just takes on so much of their story and things that are important to them, and then he just pulls it from like just pieces of what you would effectively say is junk, and then he just and it just is amazing.
Yeah,
he
he's
does
incredible,
really well.
unbelievably talented.
Yeah. But I remember speaking to him and he said, "I've never had a plan in my life. I've never had a drawing in my life. I've I just rock up and I think, right, how am I going to do this?" And he does it.
We met him at the Ideal Home Show, the breakfast that day, and it's just heartwarming, and he's just auras, cosy.
Yeah, it's very good. But that was the year he was going on stage himself, and he was like, "No, I can't do it myself." So I think you and Anna went on with him.
You and Anna got drafted in.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh no." You do this presenting all the time. He's like, "No, but this is live on a stage. I can't do that myself." So yous were on, but we've done it a couple of times now. It's good. It's that I like it. It's a good.
Are you back involved this year?
Yeah, I think so. They've been in touch. So yeah, that'd be quite good. It's such a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
You meet like loads of people, and it's people from your community and stuff.
Yep.
It's really cool. Love it. Yeah.
And talking about architects, go back there. What's your kind of favourite? Is there a building in Glasgow that you absolutely idolise? Because I feel everybody's got their own wee building that they absolutely love.
Yeah, there's loads. I mean, we're absolutely spoiled.
Yeah, we're totally spoiled
in Glasgow. I mean, even doing a little piece for Andrew Dobby for his People Make Glasgow building, like learning about that building. It was,
and appealing to the eye is absolutely not the case, but it's such a see this history and the story behind that building.
If you actually understand, if you look into what it meant at the time, it was a complete innovation.
Absolutely,
and it was inspired by Le Corbusier, who was the forerunner of the modernist movement, which is the thing that completely changed architecture for now as we know it. Do you know when you're going down Buchanan Street? And there's the church halfway down, and there's that really beautiful. It used to be the old stock exchange.
Yeah,
it's like a Venetian Gothic. That building is just stunning. I really love it. Yeah, I always just stop and just stare at it. Look at all the.
What about you? Have you got a favourite building?
I'm not sure. I think like Danny, you go even when you go into the West End and stuff, and you just look at all of the architecture around about the uni and stuff. It's just it's probably more for me that I stop and I look and I think, how did they do this all these years ago? When you see now, some have got modern buildings that are thrown up, and then you look at these buildings and you're just like, amazing. When I lived in the West End, walking around Kelvin Grove and going up to the uni, that approach up to that building is just insane.
It's a really difficult question. It's like asking an accountant their favourite number.
I love the old Hutchison's Hotel, which was obviously the Hutchison building, the white one it sits on.
Oh, yeah.
I love that building.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
So it was Hutchison's, a restaurant, and then obviously closed down. But it's the white. It was a hospital.
Yeah.
It's got obviously Hutchison engraved in it. I love that building.
Yeah.
But then it's funny looking at that building, obviously when it was built back in back in the day, like compared to now, like you're saying, buildings getting chucked up. I equally like
Oh, I equally like modern.
to
like
see
I
the
love,
new mod. Like
yeah.
it was a shame because it was obviously ruined by the scaffolding that was up for 4 years or whatever just after it was completed, which was the Mamazan building. It's obviously now an office space, which sits right in front of the Duke of Wellington, the Coney's
Yeah.
Head.
Yeah.
That right there in that corner, I always go by and I go, that's incredible what they've done with glass, eh? So
Glass is a big thing. I love.
Massive.
Light is a big thing for
Yep.
me. So
yeah,
that was one of the things when I walked into the church. The light that came through the windows, how
Mm-hmm.
massive they were, was like, oh, I'm drawn to that. And I would love. I think my dream would be a house by the sea with a lot of glass that I could just sit and look out. But yeah, I've always just had love, and I even remember watching like Kevin, what's his name, McAllister.
Kevin McLeod.
McAllister. Who's
That's
Kevin
Home Alone.
McAllister? Home Alone.
Love that
I
house.
love him too.
love that house.
I love him too. Ben McLeod, when he did all of the houses and the really ambitious builds that
Yeah.
didn't always go to plan, but some of them were just incredible with the glass frontage
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
On that Kevin McAllister note, that I know we're trying to go off the festive topics, but did you actually see that it's been bought over again? So they paid $5.5 million for it, and their plan is to redesign it how it was reflected in the film in 1990. Because basically it was sold a few years ago, and they've come in and stripped every bit of like traditional character away from it, turned it white and grey and beige, and they're like, no. So it's been bought over, and they're apparently redesigning it back to the former
original.
glory, reds and greens. I know.
What do you think of George Clark's Amazing Spaces when you watch that?
Yeah, I love his stuff. He's got an amazing practice as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just got such a lovely way on camera. It's very, very watchable. Obviously super knowledgeable as well, but all the little small spaces he does as well, and he clearly like has good researchers or whatever. But the stuff he did abroad and stuff in New Zealand things was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when he does, and you're right, he's such a nice way when he goes in and does like residentials and he helps the people, but he doesn't just say, I think you should do X, Y, and Z. He'll give a whole explanation as to why he thinks that and how it would be good for them.
And he challenges them and stuff.
Yeah,
But he's got such a nice manner about doing it. It's really
he's really good. But yeah, all things home and residential, which is great.
So on you go.
No, it's fine.
So I was just going to go on to my favourite part of the podcast, Michelle.
Okay.
Nice little quick fire round. Let's put you in the spot.
Right, okay. Okay.
So renovation or new build?
Renovation.
Neutral or bold?
Bold.
Inspiring. I like that answer. Is open plan overrated?
No, I don't think so. No.
Feature wall, yes or no?
No. Absolutely
In
stoked.
the bin. In the bin for 2026.
It's been in the bin for like 20 years.
Well, funnily enough, that's actually my next one. Is a trend you're bored of?
A trend I'm bored of just now. I don't know. There's so many.
Trends.
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 Yeah.
I'm bored
I think
of.
any trend, I'm immediately getting the ick from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're leaning into a trend, you're not self-discovering hard enough.
Yeah, you're just jumping the bandwagon. And trends you're secretly loving?
None.
Yeah, I can't think of any of them. One thing I do really love, which we're incorporating a lot more, is laundry spaces that aren't in the utility room off a kitchen.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, totally. Dream HOKO project?
Dream HOKO project. I think it's this...
Forest.
this forest of micro homes, like leaning
Yeah.
into this old hutting culture of Scotland. You know, maybe redirect a little burn to create a little cold plunge, a sauna.
Yeah.
Get a bit of wellness in there. It's not like an ashram or a cult I'm making or anything, but I think something like that would be really cool.
Yeah, it does
Loads of little
sound so
follies.
quirky, doesn't it? And like,
Yeah.
I'd love to see that come to fruition. It would be good, eh?
I'll show you the renders after.
Yeah, let's down to see them. And what is next for Danny and HOKO? What's the 5-year vision? What's the plan?
You mean once after my TikTok explodes?
Yeah.
Before to hit 500 followers. We've got huge plans for this year. I think one of the things that I feel particularly prickly about is how architects sit at the moment within the profession. I think they've always been quite misunderstood, but with all the changes and stuff that are happening, I don't know if you saw the RIBA president made a big declaration that he wasn't renewing his registration on the Architects Registration Board. So,
Wow.
and he got like a 90% support rate in the Architects Journal. And the way we're pivoting our business is allowing more architects to kind of work in the way we work, kind of tapping into this gig economy so they can earn more and they can have a better quality of life and do more design and basically add more good back into the public.
Yeah.
Because I think still there's a huge stigma against architects that want to do home renovations and home extensions. And I think that it's my destiny to fix that.
Yeah. Love that.
Amazing.
And if you could just speak directly to the listeners and just give a piece of advice for our homeowners or one change that people can make to love their home even more.
To love it more. Yeah, there's like a Japanese word. I think it's wabi sabi, which is finding beauty in things that are imperfect.
Yeah.
I think if you can remove that kind of innate feeling of presenting to the outside world that we all have nowadays, and just really appreciate the moment in times, all the things that are wrong about your home, and find little bits of beauty in them, I think you will feel so much more calmer about your space.
Love that.
I like that too.
eloquently
You listen to
put.
this because
I'm absorbed in
Declan is a
this.
very, my house has to be perfect and my house has to be, not a thing out of place. And you could take that on board.
I'm going to take that away from today, Danny.
Your
I
house is
really
going to be a
appreciate
tip
that.
by the end of the
Aye.
week. You're like, wabi sabi, dirty laundry.
And I've got to take a hammer to my media wall when I go home. That was the OG, so I've scunnered myself with it now. So before nobody had them, I had them. So I'll do that.
Imagine if I said media walls as
No,
the
it is
worst
a
thing.
nick. It is. It's got to be a nick now, isn't it? Like the hate that
Well,
we get
what
online.
is your thoughts on media walls?
Well, I've actually got a media wall at home as well. We've
Yeah.
got this. We built out this big library bookshelf with like hidden storage for all the kids' toys and stuff. We took a TV to the home show actually, and my colleague Connor broke it. So I had to get a new TV, and I accidentally bought like a 100-inch TV, which was like way too massive.
Accidentally.
Yeah, when the box arrived, like we were all just pissing ourselves. We're like,
Yeah.
what is this? It's too huge. So yeah, I had to put it somewhere. So built it out and hid it and made it a bit more discreet and stuff. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, it's absolutely not.
What sort of
but-
media do you have in your wall?
I mean, it's like I was watching a
Of course
TikTok the other
he has
day.
a fire and Venetian plaster. Of course he does.
Oh, stop. I was actually watching a TikTok the other day, and the sound that was placed over it was, hey, do you like my media wall? Can you see all the media that comes from it? I mean, there's a television that provides media, and it does my Spotify, and it does YouTube. And they're like, where is the media involved here apart from a telly sunk into a wall? Yep. So, I'm rethinking that.
Amazing.
Anyway, Danny, it's been fabulous having
Yeah,
you on.
thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Really
it's been
appreciate you
great.
coming out
Good
today.
chat all day.
I know I could sit and play that all day, but we're kickstarting the week off, Michelle, aren't we?
Yes, we're kickstarting the week with a goodie.
Yep. So, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
it.